Hello, Gamescom, day 4. Are you excited? Because I am, because we have today another activity with gameplay, live gameplay commented by its developers. We have here with us ChaoticBrain Studios, developers of Neon Blood, a wonderful adventure inspired in a cyberpunk world. I'm sorry. So we are going to see first the trailer, just in case you don't know the adventure, and then we are going to talk with the developers and see a live gameplay, as I said. So keep on the stream. Amazing. So you have here Roy, Alex, and Danny, developers of Neon Blood. So I'm going to leave you with them. Let's go, guys.
Well, hello. As Sam said, we're Roy, Alex, and Danny, and we are ChaoticBrain Studios. We are the developers of Neon Blood, a cyberpunk RPG adventure, like a detective adventure. And yeah, I'm Alex. I'm more like a Swiss knife. I made a bit of everything in the game, but my partners call me the game director. And well, I leave you with Danny.
Hello, my name is Daniel. I'm more the narrative and design part of the team. And that's it, yeah, he owns the title of game director, he owns it. So
Hello, it's a pleasure being here. I'm Roy, the lead pixel artist of New Blood. I wish you enjoy.
Yeah. Today we're going to present you a little gameplay of Neon Blood, of the demo that you can play right here on Gamescom, on the Game from Spain booth. So let's get started.
well, first of all, this is the let's begin with the game. I will tell a bit about the demo that we are bringing here to Gamescom. The first of all, the game, well, the story behind the game goes around the year is the 2053. All the world collapsed in a big macropolis called Viridis that is split up in two halves. The first of them is Bright City. It is the luxurious type of city with cutting-edge technology, all wealthy and pristine. And the other half is where the games takes place, is the opposite. It's more like cyberpunk, dystopian kind of future. So depressive with a lot of crime and drugs and everything like that. And all these settings goes around Axel McCoy, our main character. Is a police detective that he is struggling with a strong drug addiction. And furthermore, he will unravel and discover a series of things happening in the city. Like a big scheme made by the people from the upper spheres from Bright City. So he don't really want to, but he gets involved, and he's the key for all this situation.
Yeah, so I think that we can talk a bit of the genre of the game. So Neon Blood is a narrative adventure, which has combat-based turns. Also, we have that combat is RPG, and some features more, but basically everything is the narrative has so is heavy in the game. Is the main it's the main feature.
Yeah, of course. As my partner said, Neon Blood is a more narrative drive type of game. Of course, we play as Axel McCoy, the police detective of this big dystopian city that Danny says. And yeah, the gameplay is basically focused around all these type of dialogue and connection that Axel has to make, like as a proper detective. It's more detective and investigation focused, so you need to try to make some dialogue to try to speak some characters, to try to find some clues, and to try to unravel this complicated story that is the main feature of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, this is more like an adventure detective type of room where as a player you will have to investigate and be part of it. It's the game that demands you to dive into and be part of it.
Yeah. Of course, as you can see on the gameplay, this is an old version. I mean, if you are lucky enough to come here to the Game from Spain booth, you can try a new and updated demo. This is a bit of an old version, but it kind of reminds us of what we want to create with Neon Blood. As you can see, this is the very beginning of the game, so you will have some exclusive gameplay right here. So that's really cool. And one of our main inspirations to create Neon Blood was to create like a love letter to all the games that we grow up playing, like Monkey Island, like Street of Rage, like all this kind of retro aesthetic and retro feel vibe that we love, and we are such a huge fans of this aesthetic and this type of games.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see the mix between, well, the pixel art and the animations are like, you can remember about these old games and mixed with the 3D environments that are more modern. So that mix and that contrast is working really well. People is really liking the aesthetics, and they are really catchy. And also how the neons, as the name is Neon Blood, how the neons have really protagonism, and that's what we have been working on. Such an immersive experience where the player. I always like to make to say that it's like a great book that you can sit down, stay with a coffee, I don't know, and play the game, because we try to be so immersive.
Yeah, something we really aim about the aesthetic of the game, this kind of cyberpunk, is because a lot of cyberpunk media usually focus on the cyber part. We really want to focus also in the punk part of the world. For example, in the journey of Axel, you will find old buildings with scrap all around the floor, but with some spare parts like high tech that came from the other part of the city, from Bright City, that really gives that blending of genre, is the really cyberpunk part of it. And for example, yeah, we also, well, this is an animation that we made with, we collaborate with Sunshine Animation, a Madrid-based studio. They made amazing work.
Yeah, we have some of these animations spread around the world, around the game. So they're really cool. They are really cool guys. They are also work on top tier games like Blasphemous, like 1010, and other amazing games. So it was such a pleasure to a small team like us. We are only 3 persons working right now on Neon Blood, to have this kind of opportunity to collaborate with such an amazing and great studio of animation. So yeah, we believe it's like a key component of the game to have this type of 2D anime-based animations that help us to transmit what we want to say about the characters, and kind of give that vibe of an old anime retro style movie like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, and so on, that are one of our main inspirations. Yeah.
Yeah, and also it's interesting to see the tempos. It's not it's the contrary of a fast-paced game, but also is not a hardcore game. I mean, we wanted a very open experience, for every player can play the game. Also, you can talk with all the NPCs you want and get more information, or you can just go to to the point and resolve the objectives. But we wanted to get an experience that the whole community of gamers could enjoy, with no difference in this case. So what you are going to see now, I hope, I wish. So we have along the game we have different QTEs like that to not just resolve this kind of battles, if we could say, I don't know, but also action QTEs with what we like to call John Wick scenes. And again, this feature of the QTEs is just another way of getting a more immersive experience of the gamer, not just reading and just see whatever in the environment, but centering or getting the sensation that you are just resolving all the detective must achieve.
Yes, as my colleague said, we have this kind of QTI action part for the immersive experience, but also at the end of the day, this is a detective kind of game, so you will have to find all through the environments, really get into, feel like a detective, a true detective, and try to investigate with everything you can, because sometimes you have to find clues, and these clues doesn't fall from the sky, so you have to try to get into, look for it, this kind of thing. Also about the this kind of mechanics, these extra mechanics are the QTIs. We take some parts of, for example, the RPG in the game will be a couple of combats. All of them is a turn-based type of combats that will also bring something fresh, something new to all the gameplay experience to the player. We think that that's very impressive. In any case, later in the game, in the gameplay, you will see combat.
Yeah, you will see like a pretty updated version of the combat. I mean, we like to call it soft RPG because it's not the main focus and the main characteristic of the game. Yeah, it's like a feature that we love because I mean we always want to give that retro vibe and that retro feel of the game. So we thought that this type of combat suits really well what we are trying to achieve with Neon Blood.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry.
But what was my colleague was talking about, it's interesting because most RPG games are, the whole game is just centered on the combat, and it's a really great thing, but we want to maintain that narrative, that strength on the narrative, so the combats are just an excuse or a way of resolving or continuing with the narrative of the game. So, I mean, you have a combat because you have to achieve something or you have to get something that you need for following, or you need some clues, so you have to combat for that, but not because you just want to farm or whatever. So you can see now here the city that here Alex will explain you, but what is really interesting of that, you can buy here the mix between the pixel art 2D with the 3D on the background and all the art tech on the background with the lights and this kind of stuff. And I just want to say another thing, that what I really like in the art vision of this is that everything is darker, and the neon is the thing that is illuminating your I don't know, it's illuminating the game. Yeah, your way.
Yeah, of course. Oh, sorry. I mean, Neon Blood, as we are all talking, we are really, really, really proud of the artistic finish and how the game looks. In this case, you are in a bigger scene. Is the main street of Blind City Market. Is the poor side of the game, and yeah, right now you can see all the light effects that we try to achieve. As I'm saying, this is an outdated version, so right now it looks kind of better. But yeah, it was such a challenging vision to try to achieve this effect of the 2D pixel art characters and the 3D environments. it's kind of difficult because most of the software that we are using Unity to create this game, is not really prepared as much to make that kind of blend. So we started to work to create like a custom and modified version of Unity to try to achieve this effect of the pixel art and the 3D. And we are really proud of the aesthetic. I mean, all the feedback that we are having here in Gamescom is centered around how the game looks. The people pass by and they stop at the moment and be like, oh my god, this looks different. And yeah, we are very pleased on how the game are looking and how the visual effects that we are trying to achieve are taking some place. And yeah, the city looks really really fine.
I'm sorry. Okay, something for example, this character that Axel just talked with, he's one of the best friends of Axel. His name is Basilio, but he's also a drug addict. For example, the drug in this kind of environment and this kind of a story, it fits really well. It's something that really matches with the cyberpunk kind of aesthetic. And as I was saying previously, for example, this kind of buildings is like old one. Okay, and now we just see like options, like a dialogue that you can choose what you want to say. As we said earlier, this is more like a soft RPG. So all the choices that you have to make is more like, how do you want to approach that conversation? You will say something and the character, the NPC, will answer you back, but it's not like a major defining ending. The game, as we say, is more like a narrative driven game, so it's only one ending, just for making all best stitched together.
Yeah, that's the thing that I really like. That's it's a cyberpunk, but it's more punk than cyber because what we wanted also is that this is not that dystopic future in a lot of years. The city, you can see that the city could be whatever right now in 10 years, for example. Everything is dirty. Everything is like broken, decadence. But well, that stuff of the implants and this evolution of the technology is really present on the city. But the city in itself, it's not that modern. It's not that advanced in terms of technology.
Yeah, of course. Also, one of our main focus was to create a living world. I mean, we want to create an universe around Neon Blood. We want to create like this city is not based on anything specifically, but it's more centered around the idea of, okay, this is a dystopian world, the world is collapsing, the people start to make this type of macropolis that you can have some reference of Asian cultures like Japanese, like Chinese. Here, for example, you can see one early prototype of the turn-based combat that our friends, our designer Danny was talking about. Yeah, all yours.
Yeah, if you are one of the lucky ones in Gamescom, you will see a very different type of combat.
Yeah, good improvement.
The first iteration that we made was more likely, well, we said earlier, this is more like a love letter to all the media we consume as we grow up. And for example, Final Fantasy is one of the big references. This combat is more likely that the turn-based, very heavy turn-based, that you have some skills, you have some attack, and you have to use that for the combat. But really want to make like a small tweak, make it a twist. So for example, the combat that we are now testing here in Gamescom and we are developing is more like a roll dicing type of combat with some variables. It's not always the same. So that's more like the cyberpunk aesthetic that we really want to make, that nothing is perfect. Maybe you can attack 3 times, but the 3 times will deal different kind of damage.
Yeah, so here you have Reaper. That's pretty iconic, or it has been pretty iconic here in Gamescom. People is really liking. But that is because, well, personally, I love the grotesque. I love how the flesh can get different shapes. But also, our main references for the character design are animes such as Ghost in the Shield and Akira, for example. So we wanted to work a lot with how, as I said, how the flesh can get different forms, and how the in this case how the human body can adapt and sometimes eat the technological part. So this is Reaper, and Reaper is the one who is going to help you to fix your technology. He's very clandestine, but that's it. So in the NPC's construction, also we wanted to that every NPC has its own history and its own narrative, visual narrative. So you can see some NPC and you can even not interact with him, but just with the visuals, you can think, wow, this person is what has he happened to him? No?
Yeah, sure. We want to include on the game also a visual narrative type of experience, not only all the text and all these gameplay elements. We also want to take some inspiration of a couple of amazing games like Monkey Island and try to tell stories with all the NPCs and all the characters that you will be meeting around this city. And of course, here you can see one of our main mechanics, that is the detective mode. Axel is of course a detective, also Assassin's Creed. And in this world, the technology is taking a big step, and you have this type of implant that helps you to uncover these trails, these blood marks, these spots that they're usually not visible at the first time, but with this implant, with this ability, this detective mode, it can help you to find some hidden clues, some hidden NPCs, some hidden interactions. So it's also one of our main mechanics.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that will really help the player to discover the secrets that Viridis has, because there is not so little. But yes, there is a lot of stuff right in front of the player that you can see, you can talk with it, you can interact with that. But if you look further with the detective mode, it's something that you can really learn about. It's like, okay, there is more that the bare eye can see. For example, this kind of mechanics will be used a lot in the game, more in the future. Well, in this demo, in this gameplay, actually, I think that later is a key piece of the puzzle that you will have to resolve. This check, you can use now the detective mode anytime you want, but just for the gameplay to be shorter, we straight forward to the next objective, because this kind of game that we really want the people to enjoy it in their homes, really get experience, get into it. It's like, okay, I'm Axel, I'm a detective, I have to investigate this kind of thing. So for a short gameplay that we really want to put a lot of things in and to show the people how it's going, we have to go straight to the next objective.
Of course, this kind of universe and this kind of atmosphere that we want to build is not 100% complete without a good soundtrack. I mean, we are collaborating with a sound studio here in Spain. They are called Wildcat Records. They are such an amazing team. We are so pleased to work with them. We have like an original soundtrack for about 32 songs. So for all of you lovers of a good soundtrack in video games, this could be a very good experience. We hope so. And yeah, as Danny was saying, we try to create this game as big as possible, as the best game that we can make. This is our first game as a studio. We are trying to, of course, we have a rough situation with all this global pandemic and so on. And yeah, that was like, okay, we finished our studies. We need to find a job in the gaming industry, and was like, okay, there are no jobs. How about we try to enter the industry by a fast way? Why don't we start working on a game? We start practicing. We try to create something bigger than just search for a job. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something that it's a little break, but you've seen a cat. You can pet the cat.
Of course.
You can pet all the cats of the city. So that's important. I knew that that was important. So got to say.
Not only cats, you can pet also dogs. So no war here.
You can pet everything. Imagine. No, but now you will see something that for us is really interesting. That is such creating this kind of spots we think that creating these kind of stuffs with a crime scene and that is really interesting. Also, if you see it with some cinematic vision, and it's as I rescue what I said before. That's a more immersive experience. So you have this spot. There are some corpses. The police is investigating. So everything is alive. Is happening things. Even you are not there, but things are happening. Life is continuing in the city. You are just there and you are just doing your job, but not everything is going around you. And that was a thing that we wanted to get in the game.
For example, even in this part, Axel is investigating a crime scene made by the famous in this world assassin Robin Slash, but even the other officers mock of him because he's a drug addict. So as my colleague said earlier, we want to NPC that has like that backstory kind of, that they have their own identity in this kind of thing. For example, one of them, the one is in the back, is so he's so mean directly with Axel. It's like, you're a drug addict, you don't belong here. But we also want to Axel to be this kind of hard-boiled kind of character. It's like, I don't give a damn, okay? I'm your boss. But this is something that we really want. Also with the one of the other main characters of the game, his name is Ruby Emerald. It's not in this demo because we'll go later in the game. But she, for example, is more like a femme fatale kind of character. So we like to say that this is more like a cyber noir aesthetic.
Yeah, of course. As Danny was saying, we also joke in the studio that Ruby Emerald is our own Elon Musk in this universe. I mean, she's like the CEO of this big technology industry, and yeah, let's say that she has some shady business. Can be said it, yeah. Yeah, of course, Neon Blood has a lot of triggers, a lot of reference, a lot of that type of narrative that we would love to people to get into it, to dig it, to try to find some these hidden clues, hidden reference. So yeah, we are waiting for you to try it, to try to find those reference and enjoy it as much as we do making it. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you like indie games, so you know how the industry moving, or the teams are working into indie. So we saw things that we really wanted to be in our game, but we had to adapt it. So for example, I remember when I finished at the university, I did a work on the visual narrative from BioShock Infinite, and was like wow, because everything was a reference. I mean, there was a lot of visual information there. So we want with that game as for our level, but to get that sensation of that, wow, everything can be interesting here. Everything has a meaning here in this city, and not just what you are reading, but what you are seeing. And well, I'm really proud what we did.
It's like we try to make the game that we would love to play one day.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's like we love what we do, and that's risky because you try to to work as much as possible, and sometimes you sleep less, you work more. You know how indie development is kind of tough. I mean, we're only 3 on the studio. This is our first game. We have a lot of love for the gaming industry, but yeah, of course, it has a lot of
and it's been
a lot of work behind. Yeah,
it's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Almost.
now from development. Well, it has been an adventure, but finally we think that our work has makes sense. Everything has makes sense now, and we are really proud. But sometimes it's difficult because we are in a big industry with really great games, and not just AAA or AA, but indies. And with such as great developers, and you always are thinking about, is this at the level? is this at the level? Is this liking to the people? And you sometimes have to stay relaxed and say, okay, what are the resources that we have? We have to try to make the best thing with our resources, because if not, it's so frustrating. So sometimes you have to chill. I think that, bro, chill. The things that you cannot do, so try to do it in another way, or just look for another resources.
Yes, for example, it would be funny for you to see the first iteration that we made about Neon Blood. It was a mind-blowing game with.
It was
full
a
of-
madness.
No, it was impossible, to be honest.
Even CD Projekt Red couldn't make that game. It was
Well,
like,
no,
oh
not
my god, we will have a city as big as Night City in Cyberpunk 2077. We have
Open world, a
Blade
lot of.
Runner plot. We have like Final Fantasy combat. Nah,
Yeah.
it was.
No,
a mess.
it was impossible. At the end of the day, we are in this. This is our first project. This is all the studio. I mean, we are only 3. So it was like, okay, let's get real. Let's try to make the best thing that we can do. But as my colleague said, with the resources that we have. Things about the resources that we have publisher. We are working on Neon Blood with Meridian Games. Thanks to them, we are releasing the game on physical edition to PS5 and Switch. So that's a huge, huge point.
Yeah, of course. And if everything goes as planned, I mean, within the developers, you know that everything can change in a moment. But if everything goes as planned, the game will be ready to go by the end of the year. Fingers crossed, because now is like the hardest time with all the QAs, all the localization and so on. But yeah, of course, for us, Neon Blood is our love letter to the industry. How three, some people call us brave, but we call us crazy.
Yeah, we can promo time. I mean, you
Yeah.
can wishlist the game
course, of
already
course.
in Steam and the different platforms, because it's becoming in every platform. Just the physical edition, but every in every platform, so you can.
Just a second. Wow, that scene has changed a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
that scene has
Yeah,
changed
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot. You know, this ninja is Robin Slash, and it's our crush. So we are 3, and we have just one crush. We will have a problem, no? But you can already wishlist it. Always helps. We hope that the release is going to like to all the gamer community. Sure.
Of course, if you are lucky enough to be at Gamescom these days, you can try out the new demo. You can enjoy our vision of this cyberpunk world.
And get some stickers.
Of
Yeah.
course, you can get some
Really great
free merchandise
stickers.
if you came by the booth. So don't be shy. Came, say hi. Let's have a quick talk. Let's have a chat. And yeah, the demo ends here. This demo. And yeah, that's it. Of course, we want to thank everyone in Game from Spain for giving us this opportunity to
Yeah,
be
sure.
here, talking with you guys, and it was such a pleasure. Thanks to the technician to make this possible, this direct and this everything. Same for everyone. And yeah, this is our vision of how our dream game would be. And yeah, we hope that.
And also, it has been our first time in Gamescom.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's
wow,
really crazy.
Everyone is great here. What's happening? I mean, I
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean-
live here. Can I get a bed there or what? Because
course.
everyone is here.
We are from
it's
Spain,
great.
and we are so terrified to come to Gamescom for the first time. We are like, oh my god, it's the first time that we go internationally with Neon Blood. We were like shaking all the time, but
Yeah.
it's been an amazing experience, a really fun experience.
Yeah, that's
And
really
we hope
huge.
to
The-
came many years in the future to the game.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
This is the biggest fair we ever seen in life. I mean, I get lost getting here on another part of the event, but well.
So, as we were saying, you can add it to your wishlist on Steam. We have the Steam event of Games from Spain, so you can take a look of all the amazing games that are here in this booth. So, nothing more to say. We just want to say, yeah, the level is really high. The industry in Spain is taking a big step. And we just want to say thank you very much for having this time to take a look of Neon Blood, and we hope to see you soon. Bye bye.